Hello everyone, my name is Bonnie Lee and I'm in Duane Park. They call me Striker Lee from Basin Street and this is my studio in Duane Park.
When I ask a question, if you can sort of, instead of just giving the answer, like say the question, like, so if I say, how did the change from orchestra dance to speakers, sound system dance take place, say, the change from orchestra dance to sound system dance happened like this, and then,
yeah,
you know, them kind of things. So,
yeah.
Because like I'm going to be completely cut out of it, so you won't hear me at all on the film or any finished film. Okay. So, Bunny, I'd like you to tell us about how the change from orchestra dance and what that was to sound system dance took place.
Sorry, plug it out. Plug out the phone. No, just take it out from.
I'm rolling.
And rolling.
So what happened? How was that change then, Bunny, from orchestra dance to sound system?
Well, Steve, can I call your name Steve? Because,
No.
Well, you used to have the orchestra before the sound system, and you know the orchestra guys them used to be very, very expensive because when somebody keep a dance, they take intervals and refreshment time, and the promoter lose because they have to eat and they have to drink, you know. So when the sound system came in after, when Goodies and Jones bring in sound system, the promoters was glad because the sound, you just string up your sound and you play music right from dusk till dawn. The sound was more cheaper for the promoters.
So who were some of those first people who started sound system in Jamaica?
Some of the first people that started sound system was Goodies, Nick the Champ, Tom the Great Sebastian, and a few more. There were before Coxsone and Duke Reid. And Smith, the blues blaster, he was from down where I live. And Count Nick was Count Nick the Champ, you know. So you had quite a few sound systems before Coxsone and Duke Reid. But like anything else, when they came in it, they had a strength of cash, and you know, they could buy more American records, and they bring the blues from America because they had the opportunity to travel. Duke Reid was a wealthy man, and Coxsone was a young furniture builder who went to farm work and start getting US dollars, Yankee dollars, so he could buy his record and come home and support his sound system. So they started to get popular and promoting the American blues, you know, with Roscoe Garden and Lester Williams and Smiley Lewis, Louis Jordan and a few others, you know.
Right. In those days, like coming up to the 60s now, what was a man like Duke Reid? I mean, you knew Duke Reid at those times.
Yeah, I know Duke Reid.
Tell us a bit about what he was like.
Well, Duke Reid was a nice guy to me, but some people was afraid of him too. He collect guns, you know, and wear a lot of rings on his fingers. But he was very, very decent, you know. He was a very stern man because he was a policeman before he was a promoter. He was a promoter, and he owns a liquor store, and he owns some. In England we call them lorries, but in Jamaica here we call them trucks. He used to own a lot of trucks, you know. So he was a big businessman. So he had a lot of money to spend on his sound. Went to America, and then when they couldn't get the American blues fast enough through the competition between him and Cox, and they start making their own music. I think Duke Reed started off with a guy named Lord Power doing calypsos. You understand? And then they start getting their ordinary local singers and start cutting some tune like Owen Gray, Derrick Morgan and Larry Lakin. Well, you have quite Bonnie and Scully. You have a guy named Lassell Perkins, was very good in the beginning. And you ever hear about Roy Panton? He used to sing with Millie. Sing with Millie. He was very good too. You know, and a lot of guys. Winston Francis, he used to sing in a group named the Sheridans. He was very good at the time, his group. So he had Alton and Eddie. But all of those young singers used to sing the American blues. If they're not singing blues, they used to sing the American soul, things like that. Clyde McFatter sing, and some other unknown names. Guy like that sing all tune like What's Your Name? Those type of song was the song in those days, you know. Alton and Eddie, the Blues Busters from Montego Bay, Higgs and Wilson, and the list goes on.
Of course, around those times you had the talent shows, which I believe you was involved in as well.
Yes, well, around those times you have a great Jamaican patriot. His name was Vere Johns. He used to have every weekend at Majestic, like Friday night, he has shows at Majestic, he has shows at Palace Sunday night, and he go right around the country for the 7 days a week. He was a journalist, and he keep these shows, you know, with the guys them that it was a contest, and you find plenty great artists come out of those. Jackie Edwards come from that era. Higgs and Wilson, the Blues Busters. You used to have a set of dancers too, Sparky and Pluggy and Pam Pam. And then the top band in that day was Val Bennett. And Roland Alfonso and Tommy McCook, all those guys was in Val Bennett band before, you know. Val Bennett was like the Louis Jordan of Jamaica those days, you know. He was very popular man, and you have a guy named Frankie Bonito, was a great pianist. He used to play in Val Bennett band. You have Aubrey Adams, Ernest Ranglin. Everybody used to play for Val Bennett. Val Bennett was the big thing away from Eric Deans. As I say, orchestra, Eric Deans and a few other guys. I don't remember now because I was small at the time. And you have you must hear about the Guinea Brothers, Little G and those. They went on to be big musicians in England and the continent. Yes, those guys were used to play in bands in Jamaica here, at Bournemouth Club and things like those. So there's a lot of things, you know. The music passed through before, but what we used to have people that named Chins and Stanley Motors. They were the recording people at the time. They used to do calypso. They call it now soca music, but those days calypso are mentor, and you have one named quadrille. The whole time country people from the slave master used to call it slave days. When the slave master give them time out, they used to have quadrille dance, like a 6-piece, but it's a mentor thing, you know. So it was quite nice for the whole heads. Now you have all different kind of thing. You have come right down from ska, rock steady, Papa Top, Crow Skank, the reggae. You have flyers, but as we're talking now, ska is really the basic thing of the popular music in Jamaica today. Ska is the foundation, and will always be. No care what beat come in. If the piano not playing ska, the rhythm guitar playing ska, or you have some instrument or the horns playing ska, So you can't get away from ska. Ska coming like the heart of the Jamaican music. Like a man can't live without him heart. Or a car without a carburetor. So that's the way the ska is to the Jamaican music.
Let's take it on down to when you first started recording. And that's a really interesting time because you were one of the first producers to come in as a smaller guy and take on all of the big guys, and with a new style of music as well. Although you started doing rocksteady, but
yes, when I started producing music for myself was in 1967, but I was around the business from the sound system days with Duke Reid, Coxsone, Prince Buster, and Count Nick the Champ, Smith the Blues Blaster. I was around the business a very long time, you know, so I know what I want. Because take for instance now, when I start and do all bangarang or take 5 rocksteady, I call it the Russians are coming. People said those tunes was impossible, but any tune can scare or reggae or rocksteady. It's just sometimes you have to cut down the cards, but it can work, you know. And we fight with the music right on, because those days you have the giants was Coxsone, Duke Reid and Prince Buster and Leslie Kong. Don't forget Leslie Kong. I think up to now you make the most international hit, because Desmond Decker, Derrick Morgan, Jimmy Cliff, Bob Marley, Ken Boothe, you name them. The biggest set of artists was at his table, and the pioneers, he made all the big hits in Jamaica at the time over Coxsone and Duke Reid. He had a special beat and some special musician that he used, Dead Ladley and John Baker. If you listen to Leslie Kong scale, it sounds different from all the other scale. You know, and even his rocksteady, he was a very creative guy. Pity he died so young, you know, because he would be still in the music today. So I was around Leslie Kong myself too. I used to promote festival song for him. Amongst Duke Reid, I was around everybody because I was what you call in England a plugger. I used to dance on the teenage dance party and go and pick up the new records when they come out and take them to the station, and we vote a hit or a miss. And like anything, if you want, you have your favorite friend that you want to come out, you vote his record to be a hit and things like that. So, you know, we used to call the shots those days. You know, the time JBC did just open as a new station, because once ago you used to have ZQI, then ZQI later became RGR. And then after you have RGR, RGR was like JBC too, you know, but they changed it and called Radio Jamaica and Radio Fusion. But one at the time it named JBC too. But when government come in with the Jamaica Broadcasting Company, they had us to change their name, because that was the government station. But one long time from ZQI it was JBC.
So tell us about plugging songs on the radio then in the late 60s. How did that work?
In the late 60s now, when you have the teenage dance party and go to Duke or Coxsone, they give you a new record. The announcer would have a hit or miss program, and they form a panel, and we would have our friends and tell them which record we want to vote for. If they don't hear us, we change the panel next week. So, you know, you know that's a sort of a thing. But some records really generally hit on its own. But even now, reggae still need push. It really need a lot of pushing where it's going. Because one time BBC wouldn't play it, and now look how much they have on the chart. So it takes perseverance. We had to fight with the music, and in the early days in Jamaica, we had to fight a lot of payola too, because you used to have people that don't play the record, just the cash can. Every announcer away from say Never Willoughby, which those guys were gentlemen, they never take money or accept gift to play a record because they were artists themselves. But you have quite a few guys was businessman, man. No show, no business. You know, so we are small producer, man. We had was to fight. I had was to revolutionize the whole thing, because the chart used to be fixed, everything used to be fixed, and so I know from the teenage dance party thing what goes down. When I go in the business, I stop those things and get it more authentic, and records start going by merit, you know, and we clean up the business, and artists start getting money. It's not that anybody did rob any artist, you know, but things get more expensive, and then when I start to come into England, I make the guys them know them tune releasing up there and bring back money for them, and then I make league up to all from children start paying the artists them royalty direct, because I say, well, children will get the blame, because the promoter, when we get the money and we go back, the artists won't know, so we get the money and we put it in our pocket and say, boy, children don't pay away. When you come to Jamaica, man, we lick it down. So start paying the artists, because it's not every promoter would do that still, but most of them, the business is a very dodgy business sometimes, you know. So
tell us about like the version side of it, when that first started.
Well, the version started now. Well, Uri named the music Version, but he didn't realize that we was going to put it and call it Version and record, because I make about 20 or 30 version of a Slim Smith record named Ain't Too Proud to Beg. But the rhythm was nice, you know, tum 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 9 a.m. myself do it, and we do all kind of thing. We have horns, we have rapping, we have everything, instrumental. So when I carried to Uri one week, he said, boy, another version again. And we liked the name, and the name of Version was born. But how the version start going, the sound system line now is Roddy's from Spanish Town. He had a high power sound from Spanish Town, and his rival was Stereo, and he was cutting a lot of dub. They had a big contest at a lawn named New York lawn. And well, I was back in Stereo, so I get popular in the business, because all the big guys was back in Roddy, Duke Reed, Coxon, and some other guy, Harry Moody, and Lyda Matador, and King Edward's the Giant. Everybody was back in Roddy. So I go in Stereo Corner, and from those days, from 67, we start making specials, you know. And I carry Slim Smith them the night and go down there and sing. And his mic, but still I'm going to tell you how the version now. When Tubby was at the Oak Ridge studio in Roddy cutting this thing to play in the contest, and Smithy was Duke Reed engineer at the time, and Smithy start. And when him started, he forgot to bring in the voice, because those days was 2-track recording. So he was going to stop it, and Roddy said, no, make it run. And when it run, the pure rhythm run right through, and him said, well, Art, cut it now with the voice. And Roddy take it and go Spanish Town, and it tear down the place. And Roddy come and say, the people like it. Well, me and Tubby here, because I used to go Spanish Town every weekend, and I come and say, boy, Tubby, the thing, we moved the work. We have to do it now. And Tubby start now, but Tubby start now with the voice and drop out the rhythm, but then him lick in the rhythm, right? And then the people them in Kingston start saying, oh, boy, King Tubby's make an amplifier, because he was a great technician, you know, he was a good electronics man that can take out the voice and leave the rhythm. So Tubby's sound become very popular, right? So when him start playing these versions now, it become very, very popular, you know. So that's the way but it was just the rhythm. But the direct drum and bass thing now is when Tubby's get the 4-track thing from Dynamic. When they put in a track and they buy it out, we start experimenting with it, Lee Perry and him and myself. And when we hear this and Tubby say, boy, it sound like madness. I say, no, Tubby, we could go out and we'll try it. And we'll go to people, them like it, on the sound system and start ask the record. If a record didn't have on a version, the rhythm or a dub, the people them don't care the record good at one stage in Jamaica. You couldn't sell it. You understand? Because I used to say, I go and give the people them 2 A side. But not care good and them don't have the version, them didn't want it. So you have to say no, it's Tubby's did kinda get the version, the dub part of it. He innovated it really. But it was there, as I say, nothing new and nothing is new under the sun, so you know. Because I hear American used to play rhythm and blues and them have rubber dub thing too, so you know, but we take it as our own. So that what was a great thing for Tubby's now, and then Tubby's sound when Johnny Clark and Cornell Campbell them start to hit now, Tubby's used to cut all the dubs. And we used to make special for him sound, so Tubby was the biggest sound on the island one time. Yeah.
Slim Smith. I'd like to talk a little bit about Slim Smith.
Yeah. Well, Slim Smith started singing with the, I must say first of all, Slim Smith is one of the greatest singers that ever come out of Jamaica. He has that sweet voice. It sounds like a falsetto, but he was singing from his diaphragm, you know. He started singing with the techniques, with Duke Reed, and then he left the techniques and went to sing for Coxsone. And Coxsone, Slim was a slim guy. His real name is Keith Smith. Coxsone just called him Slim Smith. And then, you know, he made a few tunes at Coxsone, and then Coxsone, that is true the one I'm talking. Coxsone went to England with the Soul Vendors and Alton Ellis and Ken Wood and leave Slim Smith and the other guys, and that's when everybody leave now and find me. The same day Coxsone was leaving, they was doing Let Me Go Girl. And I formed a group with them named the Uniques now, Light Chalmers, Slim Smith and Jimmy Riley. But before Let Me Go Girl was done with Derrick Morgan and B.B. Seaton singing harmony with with Slim at that day, because B.B. Seaton had his group named the Gaylords at that time, you know. So the first techniques were, and Ken Wood used to sing harmony with, the first tune on record with Slim Smith was a tune named People Get Ready to Do Rocksteady. Out in the Moonlight, We'll Dance. That's one of the very first Rocksteady tune. You know, and when I started in the Rocksteady era, but I went right back to the ska. That's why if I have ska tune, because I used to work with Val Bennett and those guys from Rhythm and Blues days. They were my friends, and I make ska because I like it, and ska will always be a part of the music. You can't change it. Ska is the heartbeat of the whole Jamaican music. If you take the ska out of it, which is the backbone or the heartbeat, as I say, it's not reggae or it's not rocksteady. You listen to every reggae tune or rocksteady tune, you hear the ska in it. The piano and the rhythm guitar or the horns always playing ska. But something must play in ska.
Slim Smith, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, man, Slim Smith made a whole lot of hits, you know. He sing some for Coxsone, he sing a lot for me. He record for Mrs. Pottinger too. But that time has techniques, you know. He do a few songs for her, and he do songs for Federal, the chorus them. You know, Slim was the greatest until his death. You know, not talking about singers, not the heavy voice singers them like Derrick Morgan. You know, you can't touch Derrick Morgan because he's the only singer up till this day from 1 to 7 on the Jamaica hit parade. No singer ever do that. The only man come close is U-Roy, you know. with 5. So Derrick Morgan still hold that record. And you know, it's Derrick give Bob Marley his break, you know?
Yeah.
And the Derrick Morgan and Prince Buster farewell show.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Bob, when Bob come out and was singing on the Derrick Morgan and Prince Buster farewell show, the people then boo him off the stage, and Derrick Morgan as the man of the moment said, no, give that youth a break, him have something. And Derrick was in full command, so the people listened to him. And Derrick called on Bob, but Bob wasn't singing as Bob Marley that time either, he was singing as Robert Marley. And they listen to him and him sing a tune, him Judge Not, and the whole place tear down. Derrick says, see, I tell you, this guy could sing. And Derrick tell him to come at Leslie Kong the next day, because Derrick used to run the session and do all the audition for Leslie Kong. So Derrick and Leslie Kong record the song the next day, and Bob do about 4 others. Until then, he hook up with Peter Touch. Him and Bunny Whalers used to live in the same house, because Bunny Whalers' father did live with his mother, so it was like a step brother. So those two start singing, and then Higgs from Higgs and Wilson tell him about Peter Touch, and the 3 of them come together and form the Whalers. But the Whalers, you had 2 other people. You have a girl and a guy in it named Brathwaite, and another guy, I don't remember his name. So those were the Whalers, till afterward it cut right down to just those 3. But if you listen to Simmer Down and After You Break Your Heart, those were the original Whalers with 5 or 6 people was in it at that time. It wasn't even Bob, I think, used to lead that, you know. It's Brathwaite, he's Simmer Down. It's after Bob lead, I'm gonna put it on from there, so. Feel the spirit, I'm not boasting, I'm just toasting. And from there, Bob take up the reign.
Right.
But still, the Whalers was no match for Slim Smith and the Uniques or the Techniques. Because Slim come with the Kill Did You Know thing, and Bob used to make a tune when we try tease them. Bob make a tune name, I'm in no competition. Thank you, Lord. You know, Slim did like it too, you know. Because Bob wouldn't sing, didn't want a competition with Slim, but him couldn't win at the time, you know, because Bob sing a lot of Curtis Mayfield tune, and Slim Smith sing them just like Curtis Mayfield, because Bob do a version and Keep On Moving, and Slim Smith do a version and Keep On Moving, but the tape get lost somewhere. If you ever hear Slim Smith one, to Bob on with Lee Perry. But Lee Perry was my friend again, and we worked together, so I wouldn't put out mine, you know, because Slim was vexed, so, you know, but, you know, a man must live, and we had enough other tune at the time. But the Slim have that melody in his voice, you know. That don't say Bob can't sing, you know. Bob is good because he is the best out of the Whalers. He is the better. Peter Touch, they think him could have do it on the moon, but Bunny Whalers think him could have do it on the moon. But all of them go right to the border, and them can't. Them is not Bob Marley. Them get popular through Bob Marley name, because them figure when them did leave the Whalers, when them say them was going to sing for it, them call Chris Blackwell, Chris Whitewell, and mash up the group. Them think that was the end of the Whalers, but Bob just come and we get the musician them that me and Scratch used to use. And them just call them the Whalers with the high trees, and big things start happen till people have to talk back to Bob now, because people forgot about Bunny Whalers and Peter Touch, you know. Public opinion kind of get them back together for some peace show and all that, and then Bob talk to Chris and make Chris take an album from Bunny Whalers and Peter Touch. Bob still remember them, but if if Bob did stay like them, Bob wouldn't reach nowhere because if the first time Chris trust them and give them the money, they make Catch a Fire album over RJ Studio, right? When them come back, them wasn't satisfied. Bob was all right. Bob said, gentlemen, the first time we get a break, first man trust with, first white man trust we and give him money for do something. When you go mash it up, so Bob step and leave them, and Chris was really interested in them either, right? Chris just get Bob and the others. Chris did like Toots. You know, it's true him didn't get Toots. Toots them did sign to Byron Lee at the time, right? And them just signed the Wailers, Tootsie Bird, Toots and the Meters. Because if you ask Chris now, Chris would tell you, say, them days, even now, probably must say Toots is the greatest singer in the world for him. Because him just love Toots, how Toots sing, but, you know, him couldn't get them at the time when he wanted. So, you know, we have to give a lot of thanks to Chris Blackwell for the music too, because he is a Jamaican and started Jack Edwards and Ernest wrangling them, and him leave and went to England and him keep up the good work until the Jamaican music reach where it reached. So it's really, Chris Blackwell is one of the guys them that spread it. Even if he is a millionaire of it, he deserve it. Because without Chris Blackwell, right, you wouldn't have no downbeat, because him send back money when him start make it to, when I say downbeat, sure you want everybody raise money from Chris Blackwell. Even myself. Probably mightn't come and give you in a hand, but him do things possible. You understand? So Chris Blackwell, every man get a slice of the cake from Chris, you see? So he's the man that leave with the Jamaican music, take it to England. So we have to talk about him, because without him, really, him don't take a lot of praise. Without even him to spend them money on Bob Marley, take them chance, you wouldn't have no Bob Marley. So how far the music reach? It's Chris Blackwell. Chris Blackwell and him force, you know. Chris Blackwell make Virgin, Atlantic, minimal the other big company get involved in it. Right? If Chris Blackwell never make Bob Marley into an international star. Because Bob used to sing same like the other guys them too, and him couldn't make a hit until Chris start spending some money on him. Promotion. So, you know, and then I want to tell you, Bob did trim off him here too. And Chris make him lax back, because one of the time a funny argument did come around with Planner them, and them trim and call themselves Soul Rebel, because he used to tease Bob, you know. And him say, boy, I'm a capture him as a Soul Rebel. And when Big Youth come and put out an album named Dreadlocks Dread, and them see it, and Chris say, boy, Bob, you have to lax back. Right? And that is it. But Big Youth was one of the first, but he said the first. What you call that now? Phenomenon? Yes. With promote himself as a Rasta man, because Uriah used to wear a tam. Uriah wasn't red at the time. He appeared to be a Rasta man at the time, but him never, if him take off him hat now, Uriah Dread. But it's really Big Youth when him come with the album and click named Dreadlocks Dread. Because once ago, Big Youth was the only artist where I think could have full Wembley Stadium, like a football match, like how Michael Jackson alone could have do it. Big Youth was the artist at that decade that could do it, but I don't know what happened, you know. Big Youth start singing now, and singing wasn't really his thing. Him can sing, every man can sing, but the people them prefer him talking, you know. But when Big Youth come on, him smoke everything, you know. Him come with a smoke screen on him. Big Youth was really the first Dread, and all the other Dread and imitator, right? Big Youth, whether him don't know it, but I in the music and watching everything, so I know say him is the first Dread that spread the message. If big youth did step up and they get international backing at the time, it would be big like Bob Marley, because he was bigger than Bob Marley one time. Even John Holt too. John Holt, when John Holt was in the Shagaramos people them, he was the Frank Sinatra of reggae, you know. John Holt is the only man leave Jamaica with him band and go England with that 24 pieces with cellos and them things there. So anything that you promote, and John Holt wasn't a Rasta, he was a clean cut singer, he was the Frank Sinatra of reggae. So anybody that get good promotion and money spent on you, right? If Chris Blackwell would take him up, John Holt at the time, but Chris used to interested in the more revolutionary type of music. Because Chris know what him doing, you know. Because believe me, when the Burning Spear hit, Burning Spear was about long time, and when Chris read him for them, him come, Burning Spear was a big act at the time, right? Chris listen, and then him come, then when him take up the Black Chorus to them was big. When them leave Ireland, what happened? Nothing. No, nothing do happen for Black Chorus from them leave Ireland, you know. Check it. When them was with Ireland, I think them is the first reggae group get a Grammy. Right, but as I don't know what got on, you know.
Right. Do you want to take a rest now?
No, we can go.
Just
Go on,
want to do a
Steve.
piece on like how the rhythm used to change, like from the fast reggae down to like when the
you start now with the ska. From the ska. You start from the mento. Mento was fast till you have slow.
I want this on the camera. So if you could just start like the music starting and then going out. Rick, you ready?
Yeah.
And I'm rolling, Rick. Rolling.
Yeah, well, the Jamaican music, as I said earlier on, started from the mento and the quadrille, really. Quadrille, mento, and calypso, what we now call soca. The first mento was like a banjo and a rhythm box, and it was much slow on, you know, because the old people them used to more fatter, and then it speed up when it go to calypso. It speed up a little, and then when it reach soca, it get faster. Right, that is the same thing now with the reggae music. With when they start, the ska was fast, and some of the people complain and say, "Boy, we get old joke and cocks, we can't keep up the pace." And slow down the pace, take a phone, man. And then you have a bad guy named Busby. When him come in a dance now, him used to just rock. Him call him dance rock steady. Him dead now, you know. But him was the man at the moment that bring in the rock steady in them shots and enough girls around him. Him used to be a part of a gang named the Toughies with him and a guy named Zaki the High Priest and so on. So when him come dance and him start now, Juke slow down the beat, you know, and Coxton them say yes, but they slow it down to a crawl. And people start complaining again because, you know, take a tune like Bombal now. It get real slow, but at least Bombal did have a bass line, doobo, doobo, doop, poop, toop, toop. That later on become a international hit with what the guy Carl Malcolm, A Fatty Boom Boom, right? But some of them was so slow, like it was going back to soul, you know, until we come up now with the reggae thing. It was really reggae first, but the radio man wouldn't play it. He used to say, them used to call the girl reggae, you know, and we go from reggae to reggae, you know. But before the reggae now, we try a beat come in with Linford and this bring in one named Papa Top with a Derrick Morgan rhythm, and it did well for him. It did well. Papa Top tear down the place, but after a while it get a little boring to the people them, and they go back. No, right? We still was searching now. Then we come in now with one named Crow Skank, like Bob Marley tune. Yes, my friend Lee Perry and myself and 90. It's Crow Skank we come in with now because we start recording that Randy studio and the organ was out of phase. So if you shuffle or do anything, it don't sound good. So the organist we had at the time was Glenn Adams. He wasn't a full musician, just a self-taught man. He just touched the organ and the organ, quap, quap, quap. So we just called her name, Crow Skank, and we used to dance it like this, you know. Same time we do so now and touch the organ and come back. So just touch the organ. So we kind of develop a dance like we're going to fly with the foot with the shoulder and come back. So we call it, me and Scratch and Clancy Eccles call it Crow Skank and 90. And Bob Marley tune like Mr. Brown, all them tune there, and Duppy Conquer. Those is Crow Skank. The story and the music don't talk about it because they really don't know. The only man talk about it is Steve Barrow, right? Yeah. You have John Holt, Stick By Me, those was Big It, Delroy, Better Must Come, Cool Operator, and so on. All of those tunes, that wasn't really reggae or rocksteady. There was Crow Skank beat. But through the other companies abroad and things didn't know what was happening. And by the way, they still did have the ska, the piano playing ska, because as I say, every Jamaican tune must have the ska in it. God bless the man that bring in the name, Clue J, you know. I hope someday them will pay some tribute to him, you know. He's dead now, but, you know, plenty people, if you could find him family. And his daughter, that's one day probably, I might get a picture of him, that's you people can focus him on TV.
Tell us who Clue J was. I mean, I know the text.
Clue J was now a musician. In the early days of recording, Rico Rodriguez, I think, used to play with him. He used to play on the North Coast. And when recording time, he come into Jamaica. In Kingston with his band. He was a bass player. He used to play bass. And it was boogie, but him didn't like the boogie, was too fast. And him say, he was explaining himself to a guitarist and say, make the guitar go skia, skia, skia. And, you know, that's how him emphasize it, and everybody take up the name. So he was the man that originated that name. So we just call him Byron Lee. Them used to call those music poof poof music. What he used to play with his band was some American soul and dumpling and all those kind of tune, rhythm and blues. Is when ska get big now, he jump on the bandwagon and say, well, first band of Jamaica and this and that. But him is really, if you say calypso, you know, or soca, Byron Lee, if you notice him bring carnival come to Jamaica and think him could kill reggae, but him couldn't do reggae nothing, right? Yeah, Byron Lee try kill reggae by go to Trinidad and steal them idea and bring it into Jamaica with carnival to kill reggae, right? But reggae prevail over it as good always beat evil, you know. Yeah, Byron Lee fight the music down to the last man, and the music come. That's him claiming now to be the king of ska and the first band of Jamaica. He used to have some band, Carlos Malcolm, the Vikings, some others too, you know. Granville Williams. Byron Lee mash up all of those bands. Him get people like me to go and he'll well, like a CIA, and take the best one and encourage them to come to his band and offer them better salary. And who was not Jamaican, him get them deported. Him and Sonny Bradshaw used to work with the music union. Like Lynn Tate, him bring Lynn Tate as an organist and it wasn't working out. Lynn Tate, him is not a Jamaican, him is a Trinidadian, but he and Jackie Opel and Lord Creator, they should be in Jamaica, all of fame with Jamaican music. Jackie Opel die, him do a lot of big hit for the Studio One, right? He was not Jamaican, and Byron Lee get all them guys that deported because them Jackie refused at the moment when he was singing for come sing in a Byron Lee band. So him couldn't get a work permit, so him have to go back to him native land. You understand? Carlos Malcolm was a Panamanian. He banded better than Byron Lee band because him have all the stars at the time. Him have all the guy who was him MC, what is on the radio now, Winston Williams, Winston Francis, all the great guys. Carlos used to tour the Caribbean and the world. But then again, Byron Lee is a powerful character still, you know, because government wise and all that, him strong, you know, and him have big connection, you know. Byron Lee have big connection. Like radio station, if Byron Lee want a record play 24 hours a day, it go and play 24 hours a day. You understand? Me couldn't get that franchise, but that's him, you know. But people start knowing the truth now and the thing of the music. We know that Byron Lee is not no king of none. Him can't even play music because if the Queen come to Jamaica, him get a plug in 2 bass in the band. Him can probably play dumpling to him learn after that, right? A foreign tune with name dumpling, you know. But him is not a good bass player. Him couldn't play reggae or things. So him just call buff music. Is Winston Wright one time? Winston Wright dead now. Me have to go for Winston Wright and Lester Sterling and all them guys there and get in them band. Anybody hit, some can get with it. Him always have the cream of the crop. One time I have to go for all Dennis Brown. Same way him used to send me go take with the other people, them good engineer, the other studio. You know? But I didn't know I was doing wrong till him do me wrong, you know. In the end, Byron Lee used people and refused them. Because Lord Comic was one of the greatest DJ. Bring Byron Lee band to fame. Because him was with Machuki. Those was the guy at the moment. Him send and give Lord Comic all the stage show, tour him around the island, and people come out to see Lord Comic. So him get Lord Comic as a record salesman amongst him. Lord Comic get old now. He's on that tree downtown I hear him live now. Byron Lee should have buy him a house. Them giving him a salary a week time. But what $100 can do to a man like Comic a week now? Jamaica reach a stage $100 or so, that can't help. Eh? Comic do all them great days to Byron Lee. If you go now, him still talk about Byron Lee. Through that plenty people would have helped him, do even help him. Because them go and say, make Byron Lee help you. You understand? So that's why I'm suffering today. And Byron Lee is twice over a millionaire. Look how much tune I make down there. And it's the other day when I talk on RFM and them trying to sue me. But if them sue me, the whole truth going to come out because I'm going to make them know. I have the story with Byron Lee don't come out yet because I'm going to make them know that Byron used to send me and people go to things. You know, Byron Lee get West Indies record. Eh? When the court come, hold this for your record, you don't have to put it on flame. Byron Lee get me and some man, for hire some man, Gits Brown and them man, them dead now. For burn down Mr. Ray place. Set dynamic West Indies record afire. And then him and him friend, Mr. Warren and thing there, buy it out. Mr. Palmer was going to pay £15,000 at the time for give Mr. Ray. Bonnie Ray is dead now to him was a gentleman, the thing. And Graham Goodall, the Byron Lee Davenham. So no, don't do that call, you lose your money. Yeah man, it's fire. Set to the place, West Indies record. True Byron did one because him used to just come. Him did have a quiet Atlantic label and him used to come at the studio and rehearse. And when I say him can't rehearse, when Mr. Ray did put me in charge of West Indies studio, him couldn't rehearse. But as music people all over sometime I allow him, you know, stop the West Indies record session and so him get for acquire dynamic sound. Fire West Indies record bound down because it was part with World Barbados. But I wait until the last time when them try and then I make the public really know the type of dirty guy him is, you know. Go and wash him linen for him dirty linen in the public, right? Because I will match him. I'm going to try to send me to prison, right? But him is the one where should have got to prison in the first place. You would know say a guy like that would do it. Yeah, man, West Indies record, man, and me go get the guys them. But I never talk about it, you know. Byron Lee send me go do a lot of things, man. You know, so if him try to do anything now, the whole Jamaica go and really know what a great guy Byron Lee is. And what a nice, bad-minded brother him is, you know. So...
Well, I think for the purposes of our interview, we'll get onto something else.
Yes, but we have to talk about him because show him claiming to be the king of the music and thing. If you interview him, I'm going to tell you about him. Them talk about Count Prince Miller. Count Prince Miller was a cornerstone man and the Blues Busters. Them dead now. Him couldn't do nothing without them. If them in America, I'm have to send for them for run a stage show. Victor Sampson. You should interview Victor Sampson if him tell you the truth about Byron Lee. Him used to have a theater and fee money put up and make Byron Lee what him is today. And him come a dynamic gate and Byron Lee don't even want him come in. Yeah, Victor Sampson. I think he managing the guys them now was in Caroline the other day because Prince Buster they try to take with them tune, right? Him there somewhere in New Kingston. The guy named Dr. Buster from Alan, him is trying to help them establish the folk brothers them name now. Them very much around and is them right them tune is not Prince Buster. So I think them winning them case. You know, so you find Victor Sampson managing them. Is Victor Sampson used to run Lee Walden man with him and him brother and him mother money. And lose him money and Byron don't want to see him today. Yeah, man. So back to what I was saying now, you know. Yeah, you can't just keep that for the records. For show the world what this great Byron Lee is, you know. Him have a big whitewash screen, you know. But him is not the guy him going like him is. All when he was coming to England the first time in 71, me organized John Oldfame and organized the league up to all them for the tour, man. And him carry with the cheapest way, that's why him come back, I give him back him plane ticket. Yeah, we have to go to New York and leave from New York on a flight. Go to Iceland, well them never recognize the flight. Some little cheap plane and take it from Luxembourg by road go to England. Him is a cheap skate. You understand? Him only the things will work out for him. Anyway, back to the music. Byron Lee just hop a bandwagon. Him is not the greatest in this. Him is just a wagonist, a investor, a businessman, a clever businessman. So we talk about people like Sly and Robbie and those people that really carry the banner and can carry the music. Because since Bob dead now, the person that carry the music is Sly and Robbie, you know, believe it or not.
So tell us about how they came together. I mean, because that was you.
Yes, well, Robbie used to play with Santa and Sly used to play with Ranchi in the Revolutionaries. And before that, they had a band, the HT Invincible Father Gooden band with Light Sparks. You know, so the music did kind of change a little now from the Flyers and the drum sound. But what Jojo brother do know, Ernest, him used to listen to the foreign tune and him cut down on the bass and make the foot drum carry the music. And all the queerus now used to believe, say, so is this drum sound so, but them didn't know the man was playing it. So one Saturday I got to Channel 1 and decided to have a session, and my drummer didn't turn up, and I say, Sly, I'd like you to do something for me. And No professional musician wasn't there, and Sly say, all right, and fix up the drum, and him and Colonel Campbell is a musician, you know, a guitarist, and when I say guitarist, he play bass and guitar, lead or scale guitar. He is a musician, and he can help himself with piano too. And Horace Andy was there, and him can play ska guitar, to rhythm guitar. So I say, all right, 3 man, and I do 2 rhythm. You know, Justice did come on it name No Man Can Dead with the dread up on the made. When I say Sly, when Aquarius Barrow Channel 1 drum, it's not the drum, it's you who play the drum, it's how you play. It's the marching drum there, because John Bago played that on a tune named Let Dodgy Do It with Rico. That was the first doof, doof, doof. That tune don't have any bass. And Sly as a youth listen to them thing and come back with it and revolutionize the music. And I said, well, I'd like to play a session for me tomorrow, which was Sunday, with John Old. But I want to use my bass man, Robbie. And I said, all right. Sunday come and we'll meet now, and him and Robbie get together for the first time. And Chino and Bopi, 4 man. And we did Winter World of Love and Forget to Say I Love You and a few others. And Winter World of Love come out and Run Away and the other one. But the Monday I was having a session now with Johnny Clark. And I said, well, Johnny, I'm not going to use Santa tomorrow. I said, Sly, come tomorrow and you and Robbie. Because I like how you and Robbie sound. And from that, the team, till them going their own things, you know. They start, Peter Touch hear the sound, and when Peter Touch go and start him band, me and Robbie went over there and talk, and Robbie tell Sly and Robbie start play for Peter Touch, and Peter Touch became a sensation until they formed the Black Oro, because they were part of the Black Oro. But as I first used them together. Probably if them even play on a session together, Robbie used to play piano, right? Because Robbie and Sly might work before, but Robbie play piano, not bass. Ranch used to play bass with him in the Revolutionary. But from they got together, they become the new sensation. Up till now, you have Steely and Clevie come for a while, but when Robbie and Sly come back again, them smoke them. You're not hearing about Steely and Clevie. And another two youth that used to listen to the aggravators, the instigators, Mafia and Fluxy. From my coming to England when there was actually babies, them was around me in the music. So, you know, they are weird. The other guys, them too. After Sly and Robbie's Mafia and Fluxy, because it's all the big hit that Penthouse make. It's them start them off. It's them.